Opening night for the Avs is upon us, as Wednesday evening the team is in Las Vegas to take on the Golden Knights. Of course, there are some new faces on the team, some returning names, and some guys that have departed since last season. So today, I'm going to give you my ideal lineup for the Avalanche to start the season on Wednesday night. Now, before we begin, I do want to clarify that this is my lineup for opening night, so Nichushkin, Landeskog, and Lehkonen will not be included in this. They will come in at some point, and obviously I would slot them in, but this is for opening night. I also want to clarify that these are the lines that I would put together, not necessarily what I expect to see from Jared Bednar. These are just my personal opinions. If I was the head coach, what I would put together, which obviously I'm not the head coach, so don't hate on me too much. You can give me your opinion, tell me what you think. My lines are pretty similar to what people are expecting, so I don't think it's anything outrageous, but this is just purely what I would do based off of my knowledge of the team and the players. Now, my first line of forwards would be Nathan MacKinnon with Jonathan Drouin and Nikolai Kovalenko. Obviously, I think Mac is pretty self-explanatory. I'm putting Drouin on his wing for the chemistry that those two regained last season. The Drouin-MacKinnon connection was alive and well in the preseason, as they scored a goal in the game that they played together, which was also the only preseason game that the Avalanche won. I'm giving Kovalenko the opportunity of his life, as he really impressed in the preseason and camp. He was sent back down to the AHL, but with LTIR stuff, he's going to play Wednesday night. It's going to happen. Don't worry about it too much. Covey was all over the place. Covey was constantly hounding pucks and making things happen left and right. And making things happen. He played really well, especially with especially the game that he played with McKinnon and Rantanen. We're going to give him a big shot on opening night to prove himself in the regular season as well. On my second line, I'm going with Casey Middlestat. Again, pretty obvious why. With Rantanen and Callum Ritchie. I'm moving Moose off of the first line to help balance things out. I'm not trying to demote him or anything, it's just purely because we need depth. Rantanen has a lethal release, and Mitzi's a great puck distributor, so I think that they can click with one another. They played together a little bit last year, here and there, and found some success when they were paired together, so hopefully we're looking for them to build on that. Similar to Kovalenko, I'm going to give Ritchie a huge shot here on the second line. The only difference is that Ritchie really did not earn it in the preseason. Although he did have some nice plays here and there, specifically his gorgeous goal against Utah, he was pretty inconsistent, irrelevant. However, we're going to give him one last shot before Lehkonen comes back to impress me. If he plays well, he gets to stay in the NHL. Otherwise, however, should things go wrong and he continues to struggle, he's going right back down to the Eagles. Getting to play with Rantanen is going to give him all the weapons he needs, so Ritchie better prove it. My third line is the Roaring Twenties line. Not much explanation needed here. Colton, Wood, and O'Connor found a lot of success and developed a lot of chemistry together last year. They're all fast, all hard forechecking, all hard grinders that work really well together. They looked really good in the preseason together, so they're our third line to start the season, and they're probably going to be our third line all year, barring any injuries. The fourth line is where there may be some controversy. I'm rolling out Parker Kelly, Joel Kiviranta, and Ivan. Since Belmar was cut, I believe that Kelly is now our best option for the fourth line. He's a big body that you can trust defensively, but can also do some damage on the attack at times. Kiviranta was pretty inconsistent last year, but I thought he really played well in the playoffs, so he's going to start the year in the lineup for me, and he'll probably be there all year unless somebody really stands out. And finally, for my 4C, I'm going with Ivan on opening night. That's right, the guy from the Czech in the World Juniors a couple years ago that kind of became a little meme within the hockey community. The 22-year-old was signed by the Avalanche in March after he went undrafted. Ivan had 31 points in 67 games with the Eagles in the AHL last year, but he looked great in camp and preseason this year. I don't have Ivan holding down a spot all year. Maybe he will, maybe he'll impress, he might, who knows. But it's his to lose for now, as he's earned it over the past few weeks. Defensively, my first two pairs are Makar and Taves and Gerard Manson. The same as always for the Avalanche. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, maybe it's a little broke, but it's the best we got for now. My third pairing is Sam Malinsky and Calvin DeHaan. Now that Brandstrom was traded, I think DeHaan should probably be given the spot. No, he wasn't great in the preseason, but he's a seasoned veteran that should provide some good experience on the back end for the Avs. Malinsky's a 26-year-old who had a long road to the show, but I think he's here to stay. After playing in 27 games last year, he was amazing in the preseason. He looked like a veteran player that had been in the league for years. He has so much skill with the puck, but is also pretty reliable defensively as well. Malinsky has 100% earned a spot on this roster, and I cannot wait to watch him this year. My starting goalie is Georgiev. Yes, he has his struggles at times, but he's in a contract season, so I'm expecting big things from him this year. He also looked a lot better than Annunen in the preseason, so the spot's still his. Annunen's my backup. But that's my roster. It's pretty similar to what most people are expecting. The only really big difference, I think, is that a lot of people have Kovalenko on the second line and Rantanen on the first line, which I understand. The Rantanen, Drew, and McKinnon line did a lot of damage last year. I just think you got to balance things out. You got to give Casey Middlestat some help, and really, I think Nikolai Kovalenko might shine in that first line role. So we'll see. Other than that, though, I feel like my lineup's pretty similar to what everybody else would have. So I guess we'll see what Jared Bednar rolls out. But with that being said, that's all I have for you today. So let me know what you think of my lineup in the comments, and I will catch you next time.